Hi everybody and welcome to another news edition on the Toon Review YouTube channel. My name's Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. Not great news this afternoon, as we have since found out Eddie Howe has been admitted to hospital due to this ongoing illness that he is currently suffering. Of course, Jason Tindall took the press conference yesterday and explained that Eddie had been quite poorly during the week, but Jason did say he was hoping that Eddie would be back on the touchline on Sunday against Manchester United. That is now not going to happen. Eddie has been in hospital. The club won't say, obviously, what the illness is. They're just saying that Eddie is undergoing tests. He was admitted late on Friday evening, having felt unwell for a number of days. The club have issued a statement saying the medical staff kept Eddie in hospital overnight for further tests, which are still ongoing. He is conscious and talking with his family and is continuing to receive expert medical care. And of course, everyone at Newcastle United extends their best wishes to Eddie for a speedy recovery, and further updates will follow in due course. And of course, Jason Tindall and Graham Jones will lead the line for Newcastle United from the bench tomorrow against Manchester United. This is a huge blow for Newcastle to not have their manager on the touchline. Of course, we know what a massive influence Eddie Howe is to the players who are out there battling for the black and white shirt every bloody week. And it's come as a surprise, I have to say. Obviously, Eddie's 47. He's still relatively young if we're talking about a manager age, but he has really done well this season, really done well since he's been at Newcastle. He's held in such high regard. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say to you guys, oh, it might be this, it might be that, because we haven't got a clue what it is. It may well be that he's just had a sickness bug and he's dehydrated, etc. We know that can happen. There's some awful illnesses going around at the minute, stomach bugs and sickness bugs and things like that, which do require hospital care should you become dehydrated and things like that. So it may well be something like that. But I'm certainly not going to sit here and say, oh, it's something really serious and all of this, because we haven't a bloody clue. All we can hope is that our manager makes a very, very speedy recovery and he's back on the training field and back in the dugout very, very soon. As for the game against Manchester United, does this have an effect? Well, in a way, it kind of does, because he's very influential, Eddie Howe. When he's in the dugout, he's always on his feet. He's always communicating with the players. But so is Jason Tindall. So it's going to be nothing new to Jason Tindall to be, in the technical area barking out orders for the whole game, because he does that with Eddie anyway. So it's not going to be something new to Jason Tindall. What will be different is not having Eddie Howe in that dressing room tomorrow ahead of such a big game. It is a massive game against Manchester United, of course. We always... Manchester United always like to say that there's no rivalry there and that they don't know where the rivalries come from. Of course there's a rivalry. We know there is. This rivalry's been boiling for years now. It just so happens that when we become a better club than Manchester United are this season, the Manchester United fans turn around and say there's no rivalry there. Well, there's no rivalry from our point of view, because you're not even rivals with us this season. You're down in the bottom half of the Premier League, squallowing. But at the minute, for a Newcastle point of view, I wouldn't be too worried that Eddie's not in the dugout tomorrow. His health is more important than anything, quite honestly, as everybody's is in life. Health is more important than anything. And, we just hope Eddie makes a quick recovery. The players will certainly miss him around the dressing room tomorrow. The coaching staff will miss him around the dressing room. I'm not sure that Jason Tindall's had many times where he hasn't had Eddie by his side. And Eddie's been leading the way. Jason's been the number two for Eddie for a long, long time now. Jason didn't mention anything on the press conference towards any games that he has had to take over from Eddie because of any illness or things like that. So it's going to be a little bit new for Tindall, but for the players, it's got to be, let's just do this as normal. If anything, they should be going out on that pitch saying, right, let's cheer our gaffer up here. Let's make him feel a bit better by going out and absolutely crushing Manchester United, because at the end of the day, that is what's important for the players. They have to go out there and maintain their professionalism, not get sidetracked by anything. Do it for Eddie. Keep that in mind when you're playing Manchester United. Do it for Eddie. Do it for the fans. You know, Eddie Howe will want to be on that touchline tomorrow, despite him probably feeling so poorly. He'll have wanted to be there because we know what Eddie Howe's work ethic is. We know how he thinks. He needs to be around the team. He needs to be around everybody. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen tomorrow. So the players, they have to go out as normal and play their normal game, which is hopefully beating Manchester United tomorrow at St James's Park. The fans are going to be right behind them. They'll be singing songs for Eddie as well, of course. It's a blow. So close to the Manchester United game, to have your manager not going to be there. It's not really the same as if he received a touchline ban because he's still in the stands, etc. This is his health. And obviously, it was concerning enough that the hospital admitted him overnight and continued to do tests. So we just have fingers crossed, everything crossed, that our manager is going to be okay, because at the end of the day, that is the main thing. Not the football, not anything. All the players can do, like I say, is go out and be very professional, as they would if Eddie was actually there tomorrow, and get the 3 points. Because if anything's going to make our manager feel better, it's beating Manchester United and getting another 3 points on the push towards Champions League, so that when Eddie does come back, he's fit and healthy and he's ready to go again. We've got a massive opportunity to get in the Champions League, and this game is out the way. It's done and dusted, and we've disposed of Manchester United, which I think is a very, very important thing for us as a football club. Just a quick video, guys, if you haven't seen it. I mean, it's all over social media. It's all over the news at the minute. But as I say, let's hope that, certain ITKs don't try and come out and say, oh, he's got this, he's got that, because nobody knows. The club will release the details when they're ready to release the details. At the minute, all we know is the gaffer is in hospital, having further tests after being unwell during the week. So we wish Eddie all the best, and hopefully we go out and stuff Manchester United tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.